is your full name?
William Richard Waters.
Nice. Okay. Where did you grow up, and where were you born?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Nice. How did you enjoy your childhood?
I had a wonderful childhood. I had, every times were not the greatest, and I didn't realize or we didn't realize it, but I had a great childhood.
What college did you eventually go to?
Pennsylvania State College.
Okay. What did you study?
I should say very little, but that's... I started as a business major, ended up as a phys ed.
And then where did you go from there?
Went into service. There was a war going on called the Korean War. And Uncle Sam said, pointed a finger at me and said, I want you. And I went and served my country for a few years.
Nice. What did you do after the war?
After the war, I became an airline pilot.
So you grew up like around the time of the Great Depression. Did you really know much about it or not?
Grew up right in it. I mean, I was born in 1930. Depression theoretically started in October of 1929. So I was definitely a Depression baby. I didn't know it was a depression. I mean, somehow my father managed to put food on the table for us and provide for us. Everybody was poor. I can remember my mother making underwear for my father out of, I think they were confectionery sugar containers or whatever it was. I remember that as a young kid, but the time was bad. We were poor by today's standards, particularly, I guess. But I didn't know it because everybody else was the same thing.
So you've had the privilege of living through a good bit of historical moments, like World War II, or the Vietnam War, Korean War, things of that nature. Which ones have stood out to you?
Well, I'd have to say probably the World War II, even though I was young at the time. We got a weekly update. We didn't have, obviously, the media that we have now, as far as we didn't have television and didn't listen to the radio much in those days. So we had the newspapers a little bit, but on Saturdays we'd go to the movies and see the horror of war. But that probably made the most impression on me.
Have you traveled to any countries?
Probably 40.
Any specific area, or like a continent or something, or just all over?
Well, we've been to every continent except Antarctica, and I see no reason to go there. I'm not big with penguins.
Is there anything across seas that you liked?
Oh yeah, wonderful places. We at one time had given the idea of buying a property in Europe, in either Greece or Spain, and we didn't do it because the political situation at that time